Hello and welcome. This is Nirpan and you're watching Growth Mindset. Today, in this first part of the series, we are going to see that how the Word document works. Let's move straight into the tutorial. First, we are going to open the Word document. We're going to click over here, and from here, all apps, and then we go and select the Word document from here. And we click on this, and it opens up the blank document for us. Or we can simply press over here and type the word and select the document from here. Once we are in the document, we have all of these tabs appearing over here, and each of the tab has the tool that we are going to use and see how all these functions work. We begin with a file, and here we have a new blank document option. If you're going to click on this, it is going to open another blank document for us. We can click over here, and in open it shows us the recent documents. It is showing only one document over here because I have selected that option. But if you want to increase the number of the documents that you want to be appearing over here, you can select anywhere between 0 to 50 of max documents. So we go in the options over here, and in options we click advanced, and in advanced we look for display, and it says show this number of recent documents. So I have selected 1, but you can go up to the maximum of 50. Likewise, show this number of the unpinned recent folders. So you can select a folder also, and you can get up to the maximum of 20 folders that can be shown. Once we are done with the open, we go in the save. If you want to save the document, you can click over here. You can go in the file, you click save, and it saves the document. Or you can press Ctrl S for saving the file. And likewise, if you want to make the copy of it, we can go and click save as. We can select the folder of choice. We go in the desktop template folder, and here we save it by the name of Word template 2, and we press save, and it saves the file for us. So now we have Word template 2 and the Word template 1 is also saved. We can go in the folder and see that whether we have these two files or not. Over here we see that we have this original file and this save as file. Then we move on to the print option. Here in the beginning it gives us copies, that how many copies do we want to print. For instance, we give 3, so it is going to print 3 copies of whatever document we have. We have further option of selecting the printers over here. It has a drop down. If you have more than one printer, then it is going to give you an option, and you can select from this. Here it gives you an option whether you want to print all the pages, current page, or if you have made any selection in the document, then you can select onto this, and it is going to give the print of only that selected portion. We can go for the custom printing. Either we press over here, or we can type straight over here. For instance, if we have a 10-page document and we want to give the print of page number 3, we put comma. We want to give print of page number 4, we give comma, and now we want to give the range from 8 to 10, so we are going to press 8 dash and 10. Now it is going to print us document number 3, 4, 8, 9 and 10. We have an option whether we want to print one-sided or double-sided. In collated option, we have an option that it is going to print 3, 4, 8, 9, 10, and then another copy of 3, 4, 8, 9, 10, and the third copy of 3, 4, 8, 9, 10, because we have given 3 copies over here. If you're going to select other option, it is going to print all the 3s first, and then 3 copies of 4, and then 3 copy of 8 to 10. We can change the orientation from here. For instance, if we go back in the document and we get the dummy text over here, we go back in the file, we go in the print, and here if we want to have the portrait orientation, it is going to have the portrait orientation like this, and if we want to select the landscape version of it, we can select like this. The margins can be adjusted from here. For instance, if we want to keep narrow margins, we can keep narrow, or if we want to have normal margins, and we can adjust like this. If you want to have custom margins, you can click over here and adjust by giving the margins top left, bottom right, and other options from here, and press OK, and it is going to give you margins of your choice. If you want to export the document in the PDF, we can click over here in export, and it is going to make a PDF document for us. For instance, we say Word template to PDF doc and we publish it. Now we go in the folder and see that we have another PDF document which is over here. Once in the home tab, we have all these tools appearing over here. For instance, we type over here home, insert, design, layout, references, mailings, review, and we select all of this data by pressing shift and down arrow key, and here we can copy it and we paste it over here by clicking over here, so it pastes same as above. And we can delete any of the things written over here as per our liking. However, it gives another option. We can go in the page special and we select page special, we select it as picture, we press OK, and now we cannot delete these. Either we delete all of this picture by pressing delete button, or we cannot edit one item at a time. We have a node over here through which we can just change its position, or we can just resize the image by clicking and dragging over here, so we can make changes over here like this. Likewise, if we want to move this data to another position, we can just again select the data by pressing shift and down arrow key, we cut it and we go to a new place and we paste it, and now we can see that we have all those tab names coming over here and we don't have the tabs appearing in their original position. We undo it. Once the data has been selected, we can see that we can change the font type from here, or we can change the font size from here, or we can reduce or increase the font size from here. Likewise, we can just bold it, italic it, underline the data, strike through. Likewise, if you want to clear all the formatting, we can click over here and remove the formattings, and it is going to make the things same as before. We can change the color of the font from here, or we can just fill like this, or we can change the text effects from here like this. And we have other options over here. We can select the color from here. If you want to give the shadow to the text, we can give it over here. If you want the reflection appearing, we can give it from here. If you want to give glow to our document, we can give glow from here. Number styles, we can give number styles from here if we have the numbers, and all of these things we can do. If you want to give bullet points to our text, we can go over here and just select the bullet points. If we want to have the numbering points, we can give the numbering or alphabetical sequencing from here. Likewise, if we want to create a multi-level list, we can create a multi-level list through this. For instance, I press enter over here and I press tab, and it is going to give another layer of the list. Over here I type bold, italic, I press another tab key, and it even further drill downs and gives a subsection of 1.2 as 1.2.1, and here I can just give font and so. If you want to go back to your original position, you can press shift and tab key and another shift and tab key, and here you are back in the main heading. Moreover, if you select all the data over here, we select over here, it is going to remove all the bullet points and it is going to make the data same as before. If we want to increase the line spacing, we can increase the line spacing from here. If we want to sort the data, we can sort the data from here. Sort by paragraph, it is a text. We have other options as well of number and date. This is a text, so we select the text and we press in ascending order, we press OK, and it has sorted the data for us. If you have already formatted document and we want to see what formatting it has, we can use this symbol over here. For instance, if we have the data like this, country, city, population, GDP, growth, so we have this data, and on the whole document we press over here and we can see that all of this formatting that we have done on this document. Next, moving on to styles, we press Ctrl A and select whole of the data in this Word template, and we go for the styles, and we can select it from any of these styles and see which one suits us best. We have drop down over here and we can create more styles from here, or we can clear the formatting to go back to the normal original settings. Now moving on to the next function, that is find. For instance, if I have my channel name growth mindset and I just make a copy of it and I paste it, and here I want to change the name from growth mindset to growth mindset 001. Now I can just press Ctrl A, select all of the data, go in the find drop down, advanced find and replace, and I want to change growth mindset to growth mindset 001 and replace all. It tells that we have made 102 replacements in your selection. We press yes, okay, close, and here we see that it is now appearing all growth mindset 001. So we didn't have to change all of this manually. We have changed just with one of the command. Now again, if we go in the find, we go in the drop down, go to, here we can see that we have 7 pages in our document. But what if we have hundreds of pages in our document, and if we want to go on the last page? Currently we are on page number 2, but if we write 7 over here, we press go to and we close it, and here we can see that we are on page 7. And here it gives the selecting option, select all, which can also be obtained through a shortcut that is Control A, also appearing over here, and we have other selecting options as well. Now we move on to Insert tab. And here in Insert tab, we have the cover page option over here. We have a bunch of cover pages that we can select from. For instance, if we go with any one of these, here we can type the year 2023. We go down, document title, I type the name of my channel. Subtitle, I type my name. You can type anything that you want to type. And this is the first page. Now we can enter another blank page from here if we want to enter, and we just zoom out a bit to see that how all these 3 documents look. We have added 1 cover page and 2 blank pages. We zoom back in. For instance, if we have some text written over here, and one way to go to another sheet is through pressing enter, and we move on to the next sheet. Or we can apply the page break option, which is going to break the page over here, and we are going to straight away move to the next page. Now we move on to table, and we insert a table over here. We enter a small table which has 4 columns and 2 rows, and we can type straight into it. Now if you are going to press the tab key, it is going to enter another row by itself. The more you press tab, it is going to add automatically. In table, we have option of insert table. If you want to insert the table of the greater length, so we can just select the number of columns and rows over here. We select 5 columns by 100 rows, and we press OK. It gives us the table which has 5 columns and 100 rows. We can also draw the table. From here, we draw the table of our choice like this, and now we can select the width of the columns as per our liking, and we can determine the row width as well as per our requirements like this. If we want to delete the table, we can use the eraser from here, and we can just delete from here whatever we want to delete, or we can delete the whole table like this. If you have the data like this, so we can convert it into table, so by using the option in the insert and table, and we can convert the text to table. We click over here, and has given us the option number of columns, number of rows. We press OK, and it gives us the table. If we have additional columns, we can just click onto it, select it, right click it, and delete the columns, and we can get our desired number of columns. When 2-sided arrows appear as appearing over here, we can just stretch our table like this. Moreover, we have option in the insert that we can enter the Excel spreadsheet. We can just expand the Excel spreadsheet as per our liking, and here we can type and operate as we operate in Excel. For instance, if we make a table over here, now as we have this data set, we can just calculate as we calculate in Excel. We can apply the formula like this. We can sum it. We may format it by going in the Home tab and applying the commas. By again going in the Home tab, we can apply the borders, all borders, and once we click out of the Excel table, we are in the worksheet. Moreover, we can also access quick tables, the formats that are already present. For example, if we want a calendar, we can get the calendar from here. We can make changes into it, and we can amend as per our requirements. We cannot see the table design and the layout options, but once we insert the table, those options become available to us, which we can see over here. We have table style option. First we select any of the table styles, then we can select any of these options to make changes as appearing in our Word document. So we can choose any of these styles. If you select the whole table, then we can select the shading of our choice. We can select with the border styles, and we can draw the borders manually like this. If we want to change the color or the format of it, we can change the format accordingly. Now we move on to the layout, and here first we have the select options. We can select cell, column, row, or the table. As we are in this table over here, so we select the table and it selects the whole table for us. We just reduce the size of the table a bit and see how the properties work. We just right align it, we press OK, and it right aligns the table for us. Now if we go to the table design and we say that we don't want any borders, and here we click no borders, and we go back in the layout and we press the grid lines, so it removes the grid lines. So now if you're going to go in the print preview, we're going to see that it is not going to have any grid lines, and at the same time it is not having any borders. But if you want to have the grid lines to be shown to us, we can just press this again and it is going to show the grid lines. It is going to be shown on the Word document, but once we print it, it is not going to be shown over there because we have removed the borders. As we saw in the table design, that we could have drawn the borders from here. Same, we can draw the borders and the table from here also. Once we select the draw table, we can draw the table of our liking and our choice. So we can draw the table like this. If you want to erase it, any part of it, we can just erase it by clicking onto it. Or if we want to erase the whole table, so we can select the whole table and it gets erased. If you want to delete the table, we can select from here and we delete the whole table. If you want to delete any single cell, we can delete single cell from here. We select the whole column and we delete it from here and it deletes the column. Now we have different options in rows and columns in the layout tab, and here if we want to add the row above, we can click onto it and we can add the row above. Or if we want to insert the row below, we are in first heading column and we want to insert the row below, we are going to click over here and it is going to insert the row. If we want to insert something on the left, we can insert like this, and likewise if we are over here and we want to insert anything on the right, we can insert the column on the right side. Next we select the row over here and we want to merge it, so we want to give any heading over here, country details, and we select this. We go in the home tab and we center align it, we increase the font, we can bold it, italic it, underline it to make it look more appropriate. Likewise, we again go in the layout tab and we can split the table. If you are over here in this row, we can split the table and it splits the table. If you want to split any cell, we can keep the cursor in that particular cell and we can split the cell as well. We want to split the cell in 3 and number of rows 1, so it is going to split like this. Now moving on to the auto fit option, we click over here and we auto fit the contents, and it is going to reduce the table size according to the width of the information that is written in the table. Likewise, if you want to increase the height of the cell, we can increase from here, and if you want to increase the width of the column, we can increase like this. If you want to redistribute rows, it is going to redistribute rows, and if you want to redistribute columns, it is going to redistribute columns. We can go for the alignment from here. We select the table, we make it center align with bottom center, and here we can make all these adjustments as we like. We can change the direction of the text. We click onto it and it changes the direction of the text. We can introduce the cell margins over here. For instance, if we click on this default cell spacing and we make it 0.05 and we press OK, and it is going to have the cell spacing accordingly. We insert a large table, for instance 5 columns by 200 rows, and we press OK, and here we give heading. Here we scroll onto the next page, and here we see that we don't have the headings over here, so we are going to lose the track of our data. And here we select the first row and we click onto the repeat headers, and now we can see that we have the headers on each of the page. Likewise, we have an option of having the sorting. For instance, if we have alphabets written over here, now we press the sort button and we want to sort by column 1. It is the text ascending order. We press OK and the data gets sorted as we would have wanted. Moreover, we can also apply the formulas over here. For instance, if we have some data over here and we want to have the summation of it, we select the formula over here. We want to sum the data above. We press OK and it gives us the sum of this data. In this tutorial, we have covered the file, the home tab, a portion of the insert tab that include the pages in the table design, and the layout. The remaining of the tabs are going to be covered in the next upcoming tutorial of Microsoft Word. Well, that's all for today. If you've liked the content, then make sure that you hit like and subscribe the channel. Your comment acts as a navigation tool. Make sure that you give your comments down below in the comment section. See you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.